Hello, good evening children. How are you? कैसे हैं आप? Today I decided to move to fourth chapter because first, second, circular flow of income that I completed. Next, basic concepts of macroeconomics that I explain each and every topic in detail. Third, I explain you what are all the aggregates of national income for domestic and for national. So in fourth chapter, I will make you understand how these 8 aggregates for domestic and for national you can calculate by 3 methods. 3 methods already explained to you on the very first stage of circular flow of income. What it is? Production phase. Production phase, which method we are using? Value added method. What we are adding? We are adding sum of final goods and services, right? And second phase, distribution phase, which method we are using? Income method. And what we are adding? We are adding only the factor income, right? Third method you will study in the same chapter, expenditure method. At which stage of circular flow we are using this method? Third stage, this is disposition phase. And what we are adding? We are adding the expenditure by all 4 sectors: farm, household, farm, government and rest of the world on all final goods and services. That you have to keep in your mind. Otherwise you will mix the components, right? I have seen the students calculating by income method, they used to add the net export there. Calculating by expenditure method, they used to add profit there. So they mix. So if you will keep this thing, that in this method what we are adding? We are adding the sum of value of all final goods and services. In which method? In value added method, which today I thought to teach you, right? And first of all, I will teach you the numerical, with components, right? Components and how to solve the numericals. After that, you will be very much clear about the steps and the precautions. First practical, then theory, right? So value added method, already explained to you. Once I am taking, we are doing the sum of all value of all final goods. Sum of value of all final goods. Value of all final goods. Value of all final goods. So final goods, to determine the final goods is not an easy task, because without knowing the end use of the product, we can't decide whether the good is final or intermediate, right? So what we can do, another method, we only add the value addition by each production unit during a year, understood, in a nation. That is the another method. So that is why it is known as value addition method. Here we are not adding the value of all goods. We are adding the value addition by each producers during a year in a nation, right? So another solution, we add the value of all goods, not final, all goods, right? Including intermediate also, right? And after that, we can deduct the intermediate consumption by all the production units. So what is left? That is the value addition by each and every producer during a year. What is left? Value of only final goods, which we are supposed to add, right? Value of final goods in value added method. So let's start. While doing the production, output, what we need? Inputs. If we have inputs, then only we can do the production output. Which 2 types of input we need? Factor income, which include land, labor, capital and enterprise, and non-factor input. What is non-factor input? Whatever things a producer needs to make the production of a commodity other than factor input, other than land, labor, capital and enterprise, whatever things a producer needs to make the production of a commodity, this is what? Non-factor inputs, right? So first of all, you have to decide the value of output. Value of output, it's not written final goods. Value of total production in a nation by primary, secondary and we have 3 producing sector. So output made by primary sector plus output made by secondary sector plus output made by tertiary sector. We have to add. And value of output, how we calculate? Price into output. If suppose I did the production of 25 units and what is the price? This is 5 rupees. So what is the value of output? This is 125, right? So this is what? 125. So value of output is what? Price into output. While deciding the price of a commodity, if you are a producer, so what items you will include as a producer? If I am producing this commodity, so how I will decide the price of this marker? First of all, IC, expenditure on non-factor inputs, whatever I did in the production of this IC or in the production of this marker, I will add it. This is what? IC, intermediate cost. I will not pay from my pocket. I will add with the price and will take from the purchaser, right? Then depreciation I will add. To produce this marker, whatever machine is depreciated during production process, I will not pay from my pocket. I will add with the price and will charge from the purchaser. So while deciding the price, I will add intermediate consumption expenditure by the firm, depreciation and NIT, net indirect taxes, what is imposed on me by the government and subsidies is given. So I already explained to you, IT minus subsidies is equal to net indirect taxes. Net value of indirect taxes after subtracting subsidies, that also I will not pay from my pocket, because already you studied the IT indirect taxes are those taxes whose burden can be shifted. How? By adding with the price of a commodity. So I will add the value of NIT which I am paying to the government to produce this marker here in the price, to shift my burden onto buyers. I will not pay from my pocket, right? The next item I will add in the value price of this marker, the factor payment. Whatever factor payment I did, right, on the purchase of factor services, you know factor services, land, labor, capital and enterprise, that also I will add here. Factor payment, I will not pay from my pocket, right? And it includes the factor payment to enterprise, which is profit, understood? So COE, which is the factor payment for work, income and for work. If I am doing work, I am going to school and I am paid salary. This is what? Compensation of employees, right? Income earned by doing work, right? What is operating surplus? OS, operating surplus, that is income from property and entrepreneurship. If I am the owner of land, I will receive rent. If I am the owner of capital, I will receive interest. If I am the writer of a book, I will receive royalty. So this is what? Income, being the owner of property. And through entrepreneurship, profit. So rent, interest and royalty and last one profit, all are the 4 components of operating surplus, which is also the factor payment. And last one, mixed income. Mixed income of self-employed. If I am self-employed, means I am doing the work for my own production unit and I am contributing all my 4 factors of production by myself. So the income generated through my productive activities cannot be separated as COE and OS. I cannot separate out of this money amount, this is COE and this is OS. But it is a productive income, is to be added in the national income. So this kind of income is given the name as mixed income of self-employed, right? So this is factor payment, right? So all these are added. All these are added in the price of a commodity. And price into output is what? Value of output. So value of output includes these all. IC, depreciation, NIT and factor payment all are included in the value of output. Understood? First thing you have to make it clear. Value of output is including what? What is included in the value? IC, intermediate cost, expenditure on the purchase of non-factor input by the producer, depreciation, NIT and factor payments. Factor payment, compensation of employees, operating surplus and mixed income, right? That all are included. And you know, as it is written here, sum of final goods, value of final goods only we are supposed to add. We are not supposed to add the intermediate cost, non-expenditure or non-factor input like raw material, like electricity. In your schools, the fan is a capital, but electricity consumed, that is IC. Understood? For example, if any child get injured in the school premises, the school has to take the child to hospital and the school has to make the payment to hospital. This is what IC, in intermediate cost. Intermediate cost always is included in the value of final goods, price of final goods. So we have to subtract this IC. What we are supposed to do must? This is value of output minus intermediate cost. We must do. Now the studies is so simple, beta. Only you have to focus. Value of output. We have to add by primary, secondary and tertiary sector, right? Then we must deduct intermediate cost to avoid the problem of double counting, because this expenditure or non-factor input is included in the price. So if we add the price of all goods and along with intermediate cost, it will create the problem of double counting. The value of one commodity is added more than once in the estimation of national or domestic income. This is double counting problems, right? So we must deduct IC in value added method from value of output. IC of primary plus secondary plus tertiary sector. We must do this process if we are calculating any of the aggregate of national income by value added method. After doing this, what comes? You know, I told you value of output includes depreciation. I will not pay from my pocket. So till now I have not deducted depreciation from value of output. So it is what? Gross. It is gross because it is still here, depreciation, as I have not deducted it, right? Only I deducted intermediate cost, right? It is value added after deducting the IC from value of output. This is what? Value added. And it is at factor cost or market price. It is at market price, right? Because I told you value of output also includes net indirect taxes. The firm will not pay from its pocket. It will be added with the price and will be added in the value of output. So it is at MP. So we have to add value of output by all three producing sector. Then we must deduct IC by all three producing sector, primary, secondary and tertiary. It is the must step you have to do. After doing this much, what it comes? Gross value added at MP. Why it is gross? Because value of output includes depreciation. Till now we have not subtracted. So that is why it is gross. It is value added because we deducted IC from value of output. Only value addition is left by each producing unit, right? It is at market price because value of output also includes the NIT. Till now we have not deducted. तो it is at market price. तो सबसे पहले थोड़ा मैं हिंदी में बोलूँगी because few students have asked to explain in Hindi too also. तो little bit I will explain in Hindi. सबसे पहले क्या करना है? वैल्यू ऑफ आउटपुट को ऐड करना है तीनों सेक्टर का. फिर आईसी तीनों सेक्टर का ऐड करना है और आईसी को हम किस में से डिटेक्ट करेंगे, वैल्यू ऑफ आउटपुट में से। ये स्टेप क्या मस्ट है, आपको करना ही करना है। क्यों? टू अवॉइड प्रॉब्लम ऑफ डबल काउंटिंग, डबल काउंटिंग की प्रॉब्लम ना हो, ओवर एस्टिमेशन नेशनल इनकम का ना हो। उसके बाद क्या बचेगा हमारा ग्रॉस, इसको डिटेक्ट करके क्या आएगा ग्रॉस। क्यों आएगा? क्योंकि डेप्रिसिएशन अभी बताया किस में होता है, वैल्यू ऑफ आउटपुट में, प्राइस में, राइट। तो अभी हमने डिटेक्ट नहीं किया है तो ये क्या है ग्रॉस है, अभी भी डेप्रिसिएशन है इसमें, राइट। ग्रॉस वैल्यू एडेड, क्योंकि वी डिटेक्टेड आईसी, वैल्यू एडेड क्यों, क्योंकि हमने आईसी को डिटेक्ट कर दिया। हमारे पास क्या बचा वैल्यू एडिशन बाय ईच प्रोड्यूसिंग यूनिट। इट इज एट एमपी, एमपी आएगा। क्यों? क्योंकि एनआईटी एडेड नहीं है, लेकिन यहाँ पे ऐड है, अभी हमने सब्ट्रैक्ट नहीं किया है। तो अभी भी हमारे पास ये जो वैल्यू आएगी इसमें नेट इनडायरेक्ट टैक्सेस है। तो ये क्या आया GVA at MP, और इट इज ऑल्सो नोन एज GDP at MP. What is intermediate cost? This is the expenditure on non-factor input. Non-factor input could be any other than land, labor, capital and enterprise. Expenditure on suppose electricity bill, telephone bill, stationery in your school. If the school is giving the uniform to bus driver, conductor, this is also a part of IC. If any child get injured, we have to visit to doctor, the fees paid to doctor is a part of IC, right? So that all are IC. For today it is enough, and tomorrow I will teach more about this value of output and IC. Thank you and have a nice day. God bless you all. Always be successful in your motive, and you should be the assets of family, society and nation and entire world. God bless you.